When we think of classic roller coasters, most of us picture an old roller coaster like Jackrabbit at Kennywood, Leap the Dips at Lakemont Park, or even Phoenix at Knoebels. Technically, two of those roller coasters, Jackrabbit and Leap the Dips, are no longer classics but fall into the vintage category. That's the classification when something reaches 100 years of age. In this video, I'll be discussing what some of us still consider new roller coasters but are in fact classic roller coasters, which is when it reaches 20 years of age. When running down this list, there are a few roller coasters that took me by surprise how old they actually are. Most because of how well of condition the roller coaster is in, or how quote-unquote modern the roller coaster still looks and rides. Another factor in choosing classic roller coasters is not just its age, but notoriety. There are many roller coasters over 20 years old, but the number of quality roller coasters or ones that are well known is going to be at a lower amount. The roller coasters listed are the ones that stand out amongst the pack and will still be considered great roller coasters for many years to come, assuming the parks that occupy these attractions don't tear them down. Number 10. Magnum XL200 at Cedar Point. Opened in 1989, built by Aerodynamics. My first pick should come at no surprise. Magnum XL200 has been thrilling guests for over 30 years. It's the first ever continuous circuit hypercoaster. The ride stands 205 feet with a 195-foot drop, reaching a max speed of 72 miles an hour. The roller coaster, like most hypercoasters that followed it, focuses on airtime with its multiple non-stop airtime hills. As some of you might already know, I'm not a huge fan of this roller coaster as I think the ride experience varies too greatly. Some days I'll get an amazing ride loaded with airtime, while other days it'll just leave me bruised. Because of its historical significance, this roller coaster should be considered a classic, and assuming the ride doesn't start to rapidly deteriorate, I assume it will be operating for many years to come. Number 9. Phantom's Revenge, located at Kennywood Park. Opened in 1991 and refurbished and redesigned and opened in 2001. Originally built by Aerodynamics and then redesigned by Morgan Manufacturing. Originally called Steel Phantom, when this roller coaster opened in 1991, it was the tallest and fastest roller coaster on the planet. Well, okay, technically it had the tallest drop on a roller coaster in the world. Anyways, in 2000, the loops were removed from the ride and thus transformed into Phantom's Revenge. The ride now functions like a traditional hypercoaster, though with an untraditional layout. The roller coaster's largest drop is the second drop of the ride, unlike most roller coasters where the lift hill features the biggest drop. The roller coaster uses terrain to create a unique ride experience full of ejector airtime. Since the roller coaster reopened in 2001 as Phantom's Revenge, it still qualifies as a classic attraction being 20 years old. The ride deserves the classic notoriety because of its unique layout. Number 8. Batman the Ride, located at Six Flags Great America and other various Six Flags parks. Opened in 1992, built by Bolliger and Mabillard. It's hard to believe that the inverted roller coaster concept, which was conceived by B&M, has been around for 29 years. When I think inverted roller coasters, I usually picture modern exciting thrill machines and would never consider them a classic. Well, inverted models have been around long enough to earn itself the coveted classic title. Batman the Ride, which was originally constructed at Six Flags Great America, has become the most popular layout for this roller coaster model. The ride stats might not be too impressive with its 100-foot height, 50-mile-per-hour max speed, and 2,700 feet of track, but it still manages to deliver 5 inversions during its quick, tight layout. Even though I haven't ridden this particular Batman the Ride, I've been on multiple others and can testify to their intensity. Batman the Ride clones are practically synonymous with the Six Flags brand, as this roller coaster can be found at many of their theme parks. Number 7. Kumba, located at Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay, opened in 1993. Built by Bolliger and Mabillard. The inverted roller coaster model might have been their claim to fame, but Kumba was the first time they really pushed the envelope by building a massive looping roller coaster. This roller coaster still has impressive stats with its 143-foot height, 60-mile-per-hour max speed, 7 inversions, and 3,978 feet of track. When it opened, Kumba broke a few records, including tallest, fastest, longest roller coaster in Florida. It had the tallest vertical loop in the world at 114 feet. The ride also debuted a couple new elements, including the dive loop and interlocking corkscrews. Kumba's layout went on to be the generic blueprint for a majority of B&M loopers. The layout might not have been cloned per se, but the order in which the inversions play out can be seen time and time again in many B&Ms. Number 6. Montu, located at Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay, opened in 1996, built by Bolliger and Mabiard. Sticking around in the same park, just moving over to Egypt. Montu is a giant inverted roller coaster that features a 128-foot drop, 60-mile-per-hour max speed, 3,983 feet of track, and 7 inversions. The roller coaster uses a series of trenches to dive in and out of, which in turn cranks up the intensity. For a roller coaster that's 25 years old, I was pleasantly surprised with how smooth it still is. As far as I'm concerned, this is the best inverted roller coaster in operation. Every inversion is snappy, the forces can be strong and sustained during certain portions of the ride. The most notable point of intensity is its batwing element. Because of how well this roller coaster has held up over all these years is a testament enough to earn itself a classic rating. Number 5. Tennessee Tornado, opened in 1999, built by Aerodynamics. Some might argue that Tennessee Tornado isn't a classic roller coaster, but I disagree. This roller coaster brought aerodynamics into the new millennium, as it were. Its smooth layout was a turning point for the manufacturer, and I guarantee we would have seen more if X2 didn't bankrupt the company. Tennessee Tornado may have a short layout, but its unique setting and fast pacing makes this one of the best roller coasters at Dollywood. The drop through the mountain and giant vertical loop are my personal favorite moments of this now classic aero looper. Number 4. Superman the Ride, located at Six Flags, New England. Opened in 2000, built by Intamin Amusement Rides. Originally called Superman Ride of Steel, this roller coaster has gone through a couple transitions. The first took place in 2009 when the ride was renamed Bizarro, which came with a new paint job, theming objects, and audio-enhanced trains. 2016, the roller coaster reverted back to its Superman theme and called Superman the Ride. The audio was removed from the trains, but some of the theming objects scattered throughout the ride remained. Superman the Ride is considered the best hypercoaster amongst the 3 Intamin hypercoasters operating within the Six Flags chain. The ride features its own unique layout, loaded with airtime, an overbanked turn, and a giant figure 8 element. To boost its classic notoriety, the ride has been awarded multiple Golden Ticket Awards for being the best steel coaster on the planet. Number 3. Legend, located at Holiday World. Opened in 2000, built by Custom Coasters International. You might be surprised how not old this wooden roller coaster is. The coaster is celebrating its 21st year of operation. Many might think it's been around a lot longer than that. The layout doesn't mimic those of modern roller coasters and still obtains that classic wooden coaster feel. Like many roller coasters at Holiday World, this attraction uses the terrain to its advantage. The roller coaster steals inspiration from another classic coaster, the Beast, at Kings Island. The end of the ride features a massive double helix, just like the Beast. Number 2. Incredible Hulk, located at Universal Studios Islands of Adventure. Opened in 1999, built by Bolliger and Mabiard. Some might argue that this roller coaster isn't really a classic, since it was completely demolished and rebuilt after the 2015 season. Well, as I can understand that point, I will disagree. The ride layout and experience has stayed the same through this transition, well, besides some enhanced theming, of course. I would argue that Incredible Hulk is one of the most recognizable roller coasters on the planet. Outside of Disney, this has to be the most popular roller coaster with the general public. It's amazing that this roller coaster has been around for 22 years, but if my recent video, roller coasters that will be removed in 10 years, is true, then it's possible this roller coaster won't get another 20 years of thrills. Regardless of its fate, this is an incredible roller coaster, see what I did there, and was a testament to B&M's engineering. This roller coaster was the first launching coaster by the manufacturer, utilizing a unique tire launch system. Before I get to my number 1 choice, I want to throw out a few honorable mentions. Number 1, Millennium Force, located at Cedar Point, opened in 2000, built by Intamin Amusement Rides. This has to be the most iconic roller coaster to come out during the turn of the century. Millennium Force broke history by becoming the first ever Giga coaster. With an incredible 300-foot drop, 93-mile-per-hour max speed, and over 6,500 feet of track, there was nothing else that came close to what this massive roller coaster achieved. Even though Steel Dragon 2000, a Morgan Giga, ended up breaking Millennium Force's records a couple weeks later, Millennium held onto its fame and is still considered one of the best roller coasters at Cedar Point. The ride has won the Golden Ticket Awards for Best Steel Coasters many times. Don't hold me to this, but I think it's held the record longer than any other steel coaster. Incredible Hulk might be the more popular attraction with the GP, but Millennium Force is the most known roller coaster by coaster enthusiasts across the globe. The fact that this roller coaster is now over 20 years old just blows my mind. If there is a roller coaster that makes me feel the oldest, it is this one. Alright, that concludes my list of modern classic roller coasters. I know that there are still plenty of great roller coasters out there that could make its way onto this list. What roller coasters do you think should have been included in today's list? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please click on that like button and subscribe. That way you continue to get great content brought to you by X Screen Thrills.